And welcome to another update video on SUI. Yeah, we're tracking two scenarios here on the smaller time frame, which we will talk about in a minute, but we also want to talk about the larger time frame so everybody gets a good understanding of the context. Basically, the smaller time frame often just shows what is considered noise from a larger time frame point of view. So good is always to get a good understanding of the bigger picture, larger time frame perspective, which is still showing us that further upside is likely, but we might see a little bit further downside in the short term here. The $2.09 level remains key support. That's the 78.6 retracement of the rally from the April low. It is a 5-wave move up, and so far a corrective pullback. Now you might call that 5 waves down. Not very clear because of this wick, and you can still interpret this as 3 waves to the downside, yeah. But I am tracking obviously certain structures on the smaller time frame. We're going to take a look at that. The bottom line is once the wave 2 has finished, the third wave rally should take us higher. And if really a third wave is playing out, $10.90 would be a first ideal target for the third wave. But let's first see if the bulls can form the next 5 waves up, which would be wave 1 of circle wave 3. But wave 1, it might not even have started yet, okay? So I have it on the chart here as potential just to show how the larger degree third wave should unfold. But unfortunately, there are not enough signs yet or signals that would really tell us that, let's say, the larger degree third wave has actually started to unfold. So we're waiting here for more evidence that really we are starting that larger third wave. It would be a 5-wave move. And once we have the initial 5 waves up completed, then we can add next support for wave 2 on the smaller time frame. At the moment, this is the main support area, which is still relevant, has been relevant for a month now. We've now entered the support area for a second time. There has been another response. So far, the price has reacted always here to this support area, to this upper section. Yeah, first reaction was actually on the 31st of May. We only really touched that level. Then another reaction on the 5th of June, and now another reaction. But is this really the beginning of the wave 1 of 3? We are going to take a look at that on the smaller time frame. Main takeaway here, it's a bullish analysis as long as we're holding above $2.09, but so far without clear evidence that the pullback that started in May is actually complete. Now looking at the smaller time frame, we have a 3-wave move down in my interpretation here into the 5th of June low, and we have a 3-wave move up. Now that allows for the interpretation that this was an A wave down, this was a B wave up, and we might now be working lower or way lower in wave C to the downside. Some of the microstructures don't align perfectly, so that is why we need to be ready. I'm talking about microstructures here, which is why we need to be ready for potentially a wider B wave. These are two of the likely, these are the two main scenarios I'm tracking on the smaller time frame, right? So either the B wave topped already, which is somewhat questionable given that it's quite a weak B wave. I mentioned it in the last 2 or 3 videos. Whenever the A wave is a 3-wave move, you at least have to be ready for a larger B wave. So it is what it is. It's a flat correction, one of the standard patterns in Elliott wave, because it could be that this was just the A wave in blue. This move down was the B wave in blue, and we're now moving up in the C wave in blue. So that might mean we can possibly test again this area around 350, 360. But we need some kind of a break above resistance to suggest that this is playing out. And the first line of resistance is around $3.14. So I need a break above 314, 315 to start a focus on this area up there around 350, 360. We're not there yet. Okay, that is what would come next. But at the moment, there is a local uptrend from the 14th of June low. We are watching here for a 4th wave bounce, and we've now reached the resistance area. I think we talked about that in the last couple of videos over the last couple of days. And I need to see a break above resistance to really be able to confirm that yellow becomes less likely and blue more likely. But at the moment, let's zoom in. The local uptrend that started here on the 14th of June is not broken. So local uptrend still unfolding. I would basically need a break below the Sunday low that formed here around 295 to suggest that the fourth wave in yellow has topped. Might still grind a little higher and could evolve into wave C of B, but ultimately it would likely just be part of a still corrective rally. What we would need to see to confirm that the overall low has formed in wave 2, I need to see 5 waves up, followed by a 3-wave pullback. Oh, we haven't seen that yet. Yeah? I have 3 waves up right now. Even if I get 5 waves up, it's not enough. It could just be a C wave. We need 5 up, 3 down. Quite simple. So that's what I'm tracking at the moment. Seems like we have a little bit of upside today in the market, but no break above initial resistance yet. I'd like to see that larger B wave because it would give us higher probabilities that actually support will eventually hold. And it would also rather support my overall bullish thesis. So I track a similar scenario on many crypto charts. It would be good for the altcoin sector if that happened, a larger B wave at least. Because these larger B waves, if we get them across the sector, then at least there is a higher likelihood that these setups we're tracking are actually going to hold. So yeah, that's the update on SUI. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, if you're interested in having some discussions and getting some more updates, setups, and much more, check out our X profile, where you can determine which coins we're tracking on X, additional setups you get here, mindset stuff, news, and much more. So the link to our X profile is in the description. Just make sure you only follow the one with the golden checkmark. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.